Hi, and welcome to Academic Compliance Academy. In this video, I'm going to talk about the theory of the crying wolf and why this theory is quite interesting in terms of economics and law and economics. So basically, most of us know the theory or the history behind the theory of the crying wolf from the fairy tale The Boy Who Cried Wolf. This was a boy who kept making fun of a wolf coming to the city, and when of course the wolf finally came, no one believed him, and thereby the consequences. So, what does this fairy tale have to do with economics and law and economics? Well, let's look at it. So if we look into the economic principle and theory of a crying wolf, what is relevant is that we see certain incentive schemes set up applying this kind of crying wolf behavior, where we can see that the type of warnings or dangers constantly picking up alerts, and it overloads the system with information or alerts or alarms. So when finally there is an actual potential crisis hitting, well, then we don't see it because we have been overstimulated or over alerted, over alarmed. Hence, we have heard about the wolf too many times before. Examples of the theory of the crying wolf in economics, and especially law and economics. So we're going to have credit rating agencies. So these agencies are often warned about a potential financial crisis. If these warnings are not followed by the predicted negative outcome, so if they keep saying, oh, financial crisis will come, financial crisis will come, if nothing happens, then they will be ignored at some point or discounted for in the future when they warn again, potentially leading to a lack of preparedness for when the real crisis occur. So we could actually see, if we look back to the financial crisis of 2008, there were warnings coming, and if they did not have a consequence, if the financial crisis wouldn't hit, then in the future, we wouldn't believe these sources again. So whatever we expose out to the world today of measurements, etc., we kind of need the consequence to hit, because otherwise people will tend to misbelieve our situation, what we've proclaimed, because we simply kind of overload the system with false information. The same can be said in the setting of business forecasting. So businesses might constantly forecast poor performance to prepare stakeholders for the worst. However, if the business consistently performs better than the forecast, stakeholders might start ignoring these forecasts, which could lead to problems if the business does eventually perform poorly. Sometimes we can actually see the crying wolf also happening the other way around. Businesses trying to kind of disguise that they're doing some bad operations. This is when the scandals really come and hit hard, because you're not informing your investors, your stakeholders, of what you're actually doing. And at some point, this would just be under information or misinformation, which is quite illegal. But we see these tendencies of wrongful information put out to the sphere and with no consequence. So when the right information actually comes out, no one really evaluates it in the correct way. We also see this in auditing reports and firm disclosures, because there can be a tendency to overstate potential issues in auditing reports and firm disclosures, and this can lead to this crying wolf scenario where important information is diluted due to excessive reporting. And this will be very interesting when we come to the ESG regulation. Is this going to be an over-reporting? So we actually get too much information out and not the information that we need to assess the companies correctly in terms of, for example, the green transitioning. So, this was just short introduction to the theory of the crying wolf, the terminology used in economics, and well, stay tuned, subscribe to this channel, and let's share much more knowledge.